it down. And I'm thinking of the cleometricians in history. You know, there is still people who believe in cleometrics, and of course, who is it, Vogel?
Yeah.
Who didn't he get a Nobel Prize or some very large prize?
I don't remember which prize, but he's certainly the most major figure.
Yeah, but you don't see most history departments talking that way. They're much more. They want their particularities. They want this deep cultural understanding. They may use some data occasionally, you know, and quantitative things to keep in mind some of the aggregate boundaries of what they're talking about. But that's not where they're really happiest. And I think that some people thought that there was going to be a great transformation at that time. As a matter of fact, there's a guy at Northwestern, a historian by the name of Ed Murr, very interesting guy. I was at Center for Advanced Studies with him. And he talks about his own thinking, how he thought that this was going to change the world of history, and how, as he looks back over his career, how different the things he's doing now, which are many of it, which are close textual things.
There's an interesting variant of that in William Sewell's recent book, Logics of History, where he talks about the kind of very particular training of an historian, and then the infusion of social history and the idea of some quantitative analysis of life circumstances, and then the more cultural turn. And I think he has a nice way of, you know, basically putting it that these perspectives are not inconsistent, and they really do need to be brought together, that the quantitative assessment of standard of living is very important, along with the best interpretation you can give of how the life experience really was experienced.
Right. But oftentimes people who are competent at doing each of those don't feel as comfortable doing that or crossing it.
And I did find it interesting that Sewell's academic appointments have been in history, political science, sociology.
Right.
In other words, as close to Renaissance social science work
as you know, he went to the Institute for Advanced Study and worked with Geertz for a couple of years.
Yes,
so that was early in his career. And it's also especially interesting given that Sewell's father is a famous quantitative social psychologist.
Yeah, actually, just a funny conjunction there as well is Robert Darnton, who was a colleague of Geertz's and
Princeton,
at Princeton, and his book, The Great Cat Massacre, which I just think is a really interesting piece of history. Obviously, you know, had so much to do with the book I see on your shelf, The Interpretation of Culture.
Oh, absolutely.
So it's very interesting.
And they taught together.
Yes, I knew. They taught a seminar together at roughly the time that Darnton was writing this book.
Yes, right.
Well, Mayor, this has been a really, really good conversation. I appreciate you taking the time, and I hope to
made me think about
it.
these questions. You know, as you notice, I didn't have to look because you asked the questions. I kind of knew where I was going, but I actually spent a couple hours the other day taking notes.
Well, I hope I hit on the topics that you were interested in talking about.
I would come to it.